Perfect. Okay. Let's start. Good morning or good evening to all, and welcome to the Data-Driven Community virtual meeting. Let's start with a few words about the Data-Driven Community. For more information, simply check the community website. I will add the link in the chat in a few minutes, so don't worry about it. It is highly recommended to go there, have a look of what we are doing, and when you scroll down the main page a bit, then you can see the community upcoming event. On the left side of the page, you can notice the information about the Future Data-Driven Summit. This is an annual joint conference we are leading with a multiple data platform user group partner. This year, the conference is over. We did not start to plan the 2026 conference yet. The second branch of activity we run are the weekly meetings of the Cloud Data-Driven User Group, like today. And here you can follow our next and upcoming weekly meetings. Notice that the registration to our weekly meeting are done in a few different interface. We're using Meetup, we're using Eventbrite, and we're using our own form. So the best way to follow the upcoming meetings are in the website, because sometimes you might miss it if you are only checking the Meetup for a meeting, or Eventbrite, or any other interface. You are more than welcome to contact any of the community board members. We have, of course, Jen Joseph, who is the founder and co-administrator of the community. We have Dusty Gugori, who is a moderator and event organizer. And myself, my name is Ronen Arieli. I'm from Israel, working as a senior consultant in the field of data platform and architecture of enterprise level system. I'm the co-administrator, the second co-administrator of the Data-Driven Community, and I will be hosting the session today. Together, we are here to help and serve the data platform community. Now, during the lecture or the main session of today, we disabled the chat. Instead, during the meeting, please feel free to use the Q&A feature for questions and discussions as well. Note that Teams does not automatically refresh the Q&A feed. It's a known issue. Maybe in 10 years from now, Microsoft will fix it. At this time, you need to remember to manually refresh your Q&A panel. There are a few ways to do it. The best way is simply to toggle between the all and the My Post filter, or simply close it and reopen the Q&A panel. Be sure to check the Q&A panel often. The discussion and links shared by your peers are just as important as the main slide, and they provide extra value to the meeting. You are also welcome to use reactions. Now, this is something that personally I like a lot. You can just use it, to show that you like something, claps, and virtually. The point is that it does not interfere with the course of the meeting. You can test it. It's really fun and gives some interaction between people. Of course, we have the main session of today, so I'm honored to introduce our guest speaker for today, Sravan Reddy. Sravan is a SAP software engineer with over 5 years of experience in building, scaling enterprise frameworks and leading intelligent cloud transformation. Sravan, can you please share your screen and add a few words about yourself?
Sure. Hey guys, thanks for joining this session. So basically, I'll just go over the modernizing the AI application for the AI readiness. So how we gonna do an automatically with the use of AI coming up recently and taking over all the manual task jobs. So I'll just start off the this. Hello, anything wrong?
Not yet.
Let me share my screen. Just will start over.
Issue?
Are you able?
Okay, we can. Awesome.
Cool. Hey guys, this is Sravan Reddy. I'm developer at SAP. So basically, I have more than 6 years of experience, like developing the application, especially enterprise modern application. So enterprise application is the thing. So many of you are mostly have a doubt, like what exactly is the enterprise application? Then we can just go over. So enterprise application is the application kind of wherein vast majority of the software companies or the healthcare or pharma industries or finance industries, most of them will be basically use this enterprise application to just go over their business. So basically, if you see as I was a developer at SAP right now, so SAP develops enterprise software for not only one industry. So basically, if you see uh, the pharma industry, the biotech industry, the industry, like Buffer, Chase, whatever the banks that you take, whatever the healthcare industries that you take. So all the health industries, all this mostly to date to the daily basis, they'll try to use the enterprise application. So these enterprise applications, which are built like mostly like uh, which are in 1990s or 2000s, we started building these applications. Initially it was like C++. Later on we came up with Java. Right now we are trying to modernize the same application with different versions of Java. Preferably recently we have got Java 25. So every day, instead of just going over the features, so every day we need to have the features for the application, like we need indexing, we need scalability. Apart from that, we need to every day try to see like our enterprise has any vulnerabilities associated with the libraries that we are using, or else we can say like application if it has any performance bottlenecks. Apart from this, we use lot of libraries that we use in general day-to-day life. So managing these libraries also is a part of a day-to-day developer's life cycle. So I just want to go over like why these checking over these dependency libraries is a task, and how can we override it? Why is it compulsory right now? All these things we'll just go over in this session. And lastly, I will try to go over the AI application kind of where I can show you how we can use that AI application to just um, uh, day to day reduce the workload on the developer to modernize these libraries. So starting, we'll just go over the session with why we need this library upgrades or a migration for the performance, how it impacts performance or the security things gradually. So let's start. So basically, when we see about the AI application in general, we see like AI application has I mean, in normal day-to-day life, we are seeing every enterprise application or every small application that you take, we are trying to integrate AI to the application. But in general, when we are trying to integrate an application, generally we are thinking like we need to use Google Gemini API keys or OpenAI or Claude, whatever it might be, any of the APIs that you think of using as a AI integration. First of all, our application should be capable of using that AI is the thing that I just want to specify. The modern applications that we try to use day to day right now, where what we use, I mean, generally if it is an application built in last 3 or 4 years, that is good. But if that is built from 1990s or 2000s, we generally try to only modernize application whenever we have any security threat or a vulnerability. But right now the case is when we are trying to integrate AI to these applications which are old enough, like when we are in Java 6 or Java 8 still, and everything is right now it working good, right? If you see the modern applications like the enterprise applications like the banks or whatever the financial industries, if you take, they're mostly on Java 8 or 11. They're just they're just maintain the balance over that. So basically, the main reason being stability, and they don't want to frequently upgrade because frequent upgrades introduce some kind of bottlenecks in future, and it involves a lot of testing, a lot of manual effort is what they feel, and they don't want to go to that kind of risk. But right now it is very compulsory to move to the secure thing is uh, we when we are trying to integrate AI thing, AI open source, anything related to AI to our enterprise application, then we have a lot of issues related to scalability when we are trying to, when basically AI in the sense AI try to invoke our application through any of the REST API calls or whatever. So these API calls will be n number of API calls if the AI needs multiple calls frequently. So then how the application is handling it. So before that, and integration of AI to the application involves some kind of security mechanism like any TLS or MTLS, whatever the connection that we can use. So it can use any other security mechanism. So basically, to all these things, we need a stable security platform which doesn't have any issues. So day to day, when we see the application day to day, we have a lot of things coming up. Like if you see Java 8, Java 17, Java 25, so a lot of upgrades. So wherever possible, I'm trying to use Java here because my whole experience revolved in application modernization related to Java. But it might not be only related to Java. Whether it might be if you're using data, I mean, Python, .NET, whatever might be the language, you'll all face these kind of challenges. So it can be implemented the later point where I shared my uh, application modernization vulnerability with the AI tool. So this can be implemented to whatever the tech stack that you are using. But I'll just wherever possible, I'm trying to use Java because my learning expenses from Java because but it can be implemented to wherever possible. So what I mentioned, I'm just trying to reiterate, like, so basically AI needs clean API calls, trusted data, and scalable compute. So basically, so these are the libraries that I just mentioned here. So basically, when we so most of the applications that I mentioned, like enterprise applications here, were just stuck on Java 8 or 11. So, uh, but when we are stuck on Java 8 or 11, the security mechanism also stuck on that particular place. For suppose Java 8, if you see, so HTTP client packages. So these are all upgraded to fourth or fifth version, but that doesn't support the latest Java version. So if we need to upgrade HTTP client or OpenSML that I mentioned here, so all these libraries. So in order to upgrade, we need to upgrade the whole stack, just not these libraries. So so why we need to upgrade these like so basically if you see HTTP client, so obviously I mentioned like this AI calls are most of the are REST API calls which need a HTTP request to be sent. So we need more secure HTTP client mechanism or the security mechanism that needs to be followed, which is followed in the later upgrades, not the older upgrades, right? So day by day hackers will be just making sure like to how the software can be vulnerable to these particular packages. So whenever there is a latest upgrade coming into the particular library, so basically they try to optimize over that vulnerability, and they want to patch the library with that particular vulnerability or CVs that I can mention in a technical perspective. So if you see OpenSAML is for the single sign-on that we use in general. So Java tried to use OpenSAML libraries to build the single sign-on for the applications. eCache. So basically, whenever we try to build any application, it has a cache mechanism with the local browser or the server side, whichever it might be. But in general, these cache mechanisms also we try to use the external libraries to basically to implement the caching mechanism. So these are also need to be upgraded because AI needs a lot of caching, obviously. So whenever frequent requests are being sent, uh, the AI generally takes the it sends the API request, and we get the API response. So basically, if there are the same frequent response is requested by the user, we need to maintain a cache thing, because for every API calls, we need a lot of tokens to be sent, a lot of costs incurred, right? So we need a lot of efficient ecache mechanism, cache mechanism, I can say. But in Java, we use ecache libraries to basically maintain the caching, and the serialization libraries, like whenever we try to invoke whenever AI tries to invoke the application, it tries to get the response. The application sends the response in the XML format or the JSON format. So basically, XML format is the a previous version which we used SOAP fundamentals, but most of the recent enterprise applications are using uh, REST-based services, which uses JSON. So whenever we get a response from the AI, so the JSON response, so we need to serialize and send it to the user with the unserialized way. So we need to use serialization libraries like JAX and databind, so multiple libraries. So we need that kind of serialization which needs to be done quickly, and for the vast amount of data. If the response which we get from the API, if it is like more than 100 lines or 1,000 lines, we need to deserialize that, and just to show it to the user, it should be very quick. So we need to have that kind of serialization to be done quickly, and also off monolithic. So basically, this AI, this if you want to integrate AI to an application, so we need to have each service to be off monolithic so that to scale the application. Like for example, if you take Amazon as a product, we need to have scalable payments to be made. So not the enterprise total application need not be a scalable thing, but exactly to be the payments wise for about.
Just to confirm, you are at the same slide from the start.
Oh, I'll just go on.
You did not move any slide from the start, so I
A
don't know
lot.
if it's
There's a lot of content just going on. Yeah. Thanks for reminding. So I'll just go to the fundamental requirements. So basically, from what I have my past experience. So basically, modernizing the runtime environment from Java 17 to Java 11 to Java 17 or Java 25. So Java 17, 11 or Java 8 has only TLS of 1.2 mechanism, but here Java 17 or 23 we have 1.3 or so on, the latest TLS mechanism to integrate with the AI, and also the security wise OpenSML and all. Why legacy Java systems create friction at every AI integration point? So basically, Java 6 and 8, 7 or 8 runtimes, what I mentioned earlier, has a lot of performance related. The dependency are stuck at that particular point, like using old Spring or Tomcat or the Jersey stacks. So basically, there are a lot of circular dependency that generally happens. Like if you want to upgrade your application to Java 15, Java 17 or Java 20, the linear wise. So basically, we don't, I mean, we can't just directly upgrade the application. We have a lot of interdependencies. So for suppose, in my past experience, like if I want to upgrade Tomcat 10 to Tomcat 11, which has a lot of security features at the performance wise, but I can't generally go from 10 to 11. It also needs Java to upgrade from at least 11 or 17. In order to do that, I need that Spring framework to be upgraded from 5 to 6. So basically, in order to upgrade one library, we have a lot of circular libraries that needs to be upgraded simultaneously, or else prior to the application that needs to be upgraded. So, and also the if application is SOAP or XML heavy, it's hard to deserialize and show. So basically, we need to have a lot of applications that needs to be built on SOAP. I mean, REST API endpoint wise. It'll just second. So By staying on Java 8 blocks AI, I mentioned earlier, it's the older TLS and the crypto support. So the crypto support is in the sense that Java has older crypto mechanism in the older versions. Like if you see how the keys handle, how the different mechanism, secure algorithms that we have, MD5, RSA, or all the security crypto algorithms that we use are we are just hearing these kind of things from last 5 or 10 years, but it's just old enough, I can say, because the latest Java 25, we have a lot of key security mechanisms that needs to be we need to upgrade so that we can use this kind of key mechanism to use on top of AI to enhance the application as the performance or the security. Uh, Also, when we try to integrate AI to our application, we need to assume like it has a modern tech stack. I mean, basically, all the basically, if we have a latest version, we have a latest features that we can integrate. Like, for suppose, recently I came across this. The Claude AI. So if we want to integrate these kind of highest quality SDKs to integrate to our application. We need our application also to have a well-versed features like a parallel processing of the data, which we have from Java 17 onwards, which we don't have in the earlier versions. So these kind of things which will enhance the performance-wise the application. So, and also Java 8 uses GC. I mean, in Java 8 or previous versions use very old GC. So generally, when we tries to have a lot of memory, it tries to clean up. Until then, the application is freezed. So we don't want to have that to happen in the recent years, because if the AI, it can take some time to get and fetch the data, right? Until then, if you're just stuck on that particular point of freezing the memory, it doesn't make any sense. So we need to have some sort of mechanism, or else latest versions of Java uses a Shenandoah GC or G1 GC, which can basically parallelly free the memory other perspective, and also in the UI standpoint, it can use the cache kind of things to improvise the UI without any freezing of the application. So basically, we need to have the latest upgrades or latest version in such a way that it can improve the performance without any security or the vulnerability hiccups. So as I mentioned earlier in the slide, basically OpenSAML libraries, which we use for the what we say the single sign-on authentication OAuth tool. All these things are which are very much needed to integrate AI onto our enterprise application, because when we try to integrate these kind of things, basically uh, we basically AI needs to authenticate to the REST APIs, and from the REST APIs, user needs to authenticate to the whole application. There are a lot of security things going on. So basically, mostly we need a single sign-on, because we can't ask the user to sign on each and every place. So we need a single sign-on and OAuth for the security. So for this particular perspective, the old OpenSAML has the old security mechanisms, which doesn't make any sense with using the AI tools, because AI is basically any other third person. If he is trying to send a lot of calls in a second. So we need to understand how it is being, how is it really a user, or else another person is sending the request, and is a security or the vulnerability hack that we need to encounter, and we need to have that kind of audit data as well, so that further investigation can be performed. So, and also, I mentioned the older Spring doesn't have this OAuth2 and asynchronous support. Asynchronous support is much needed if you have to have a AI on top of the application. And also, old JSON libraries slow down the large data processing that I indicated before itself, like the Jackson data bind, which I indicated before, wherein this Jackson data bind which tries to process the data from serialized JSON to object data type, if we are using any object oriented programming, from object to the JSON format. So whenever we try the AI calls the just iterate on that, like whenever AI calls it needs any data, it tries to call an API service, and API gives the JSON or the XML response. That needs to be passed, the whole thing needs to be passed and shown in an user understandable format, right? So that kind of processing, we need to have a very latest JSON libraries that can process the whole thing in a good amount of time. How the legacy tech slows AML pipelines. So basically, I already iterated like Java 8's default GC causes long pause on big heaps in the sense we have in-memory things, so that we need to make sure it always cleans up. So the only thing that we need to talk about here is basically the latest Java upgrades has a lot of different GCs that can tackle these kind of issues, like G1 GC, Shenandoah GC, parallel GC. So these kind of different GC mechanism algorithm. So what is GC? Garbage collector. So in order to free up the memory that is been in the RAM or the heap. So basically, it needs to be cleaned up so that it can allocate other objects to be processed, and also blocking IO limits parallel up for the parallel API calls. So as I mentioned earlier, uh, with the old Java versions or the old tech stack, we doesn't have parallel processing kind of. So with the streams and all coming up in the latest Java versions, we need to have this kind of parallel processing in order to satisfy the user. And also old JSON libraries that we already have the capability of parsing these things, and also the bytecode optimization that also need to be taken care. And also the slow startup also delays this AI microservice calling, so that also need to be taken care. So my whole case study that I have went through is a Java 8 to 17 of the large enterprise application. As I mentioned earlier, I want to upgrade from Java 8 to 17. I mean, it's been a while, so I'm upgraded this thing, but we have Java 20, 21, 25. We have a lot of recent versions. So whenever we try to upgrade version, that is just a lesson from me, like how I upgraded. So basically, when we try to upgrade the application, most generally we need to try to keep upgrading a daily. But if we just keep the process, just keep it aside, and if you just come after 1 year to upgrade everything, it becomes hectic, because every library has another third party dependency that needs to be upgraded. Suppose if I want to upgrade from Java 8 to 17, I have Spring which is sitting at 5, so I need to upgrade Spring. At the same time, Jersey, I'm sitting at version 2, I need to upgrade to just version 3. And also the Tomcat, which is sitting at 9 or 10 at that point of from for to upgrade to Java 17, it also need to be at Tomcat 11. So there are a lot of interdependencies that need to be upgraded in order to move from Java to 17. It's not like simply changing the version and just running the application. We have a lot of interdependencies that need to be taken care, and it also need to be done at the step-by-step process, not like one day we can just sit, it can't be completed, because it's not, some of them will be directly a version change kind of thing. Some of them need have a lot of API changes, some of the implementation itself changes. So if you are just moving from Java Jersey 2 to 3, it have a lot of things change, like how the resource is finding, how the filtering mechanism is there, how the security mechanism is implemented. Whole of the APIs that we use in one Java 1.x or 2.x is doesn't make any sense. If we move to 3, it's like rewriting the whole application again. So that kind of issues we will face when we try to just stop the application upgrade for prolonged time, very prolonged time. So basically, I have these kind of challenges. So, and also pipelines are built for the older versions. We need to upgrade the pipelines. How we need to upgrade pipelines is try to have synchronously try to have a Java 8 pipeline with the old libraries, and also parallel with the other pipeline Java 17. So try to monitor that pipeline, like to have any many, I mean, how the long the tests are running, how long the automation is running. So these kind of automations and everything that's to be checked thoroughly before release to the customer. So with this approach, we can have improved security, improved performance, and AI readiness, I can say. So yeah, key migration strategies, audit dependencies for vulnerabilities. So basically, we need to have audit for what are the vulnerabilities that we have upgraded. I mean, vulnerabilities in the sense libraries, which we try to upgrade day to day. Like, so when we try to upgrade these libraries, we need to audit them like exactly for if you're using one library, we that library has a lot of modules, right? So if we try to use only one specific module or one specific feature, and that specific feature where we are using. So if we have that kind of things written in a release notes or somewhere in the Jira's kind of thing, that might be helpful to write the release notes and what are the parts of the testing that needs to be taken care. And also, I already indicated maintaining parallel builds for Java 8 to 17, and also upgrading incrementally. We can't do the whole thing at a go, which needs to be done incrementally, one by one, version through version. We can't skip the version, and we can do, but it's kind of risky and it takes a lot of time to test, and things need to be taken care will be very huge. And automation testing should be done to catch this regression early, obviously, in any enterprise application or any modern applications. We try to use the regression testing to catch this whole application regression to catch this early. So yeah, so when we have this whole application to move to the whole new tech stack, we have modern AI SDKs to use, modern processing time, modern security with the less vulnerabilities, which every application needs to have that kind of things. So, and also, yeah, reduce latency with the better GC. Obviously, the latest versions have better GC that can reduce the latency wise, and also asynchronous HTTP makes the application which is very fast without much lag in the application or the freeze in the application. Stronger security posture for AI APIs, I can say, and also faster startup enabling dynamic scaling. So the obviously a lot of modules that we have. Second, I don't know where the camera is turned off. Sorry about that. So application needs to be have a lot of new security mechanism, new HTTP, new OpenSML. This all can happen with the latest versions of the libraries or the tech stack. Lessons learned with this whole case study that I have done. Modernization is foundational for the AI success, and also it needs to be done in the small control step, because if we do it once, we don't know what library caused what issue, right? It's not that easy to find it out when when it is related to GC. If you suppose we can't, if we straight away find out whenever there is a user with a lot of data being processed, then we can identify it has some kind of performance issue or the latency issue related to GC kind of. So it's not that easy to find out first library. So control steps on each and everything, each release, just maintaining few libraries might avoid disruption and finding out what exact library caused that issue. And cross-stream coordination is critical, because we are where we use generally application has a lot of dependence with other applications which we use in our company itself. Like for example, uh, our cross-sectional team. Right now, I'm work at SAP. So SAP, what are the applications that I'm trying to develop, or else the database that I use. Basically, the database, maybe the database team is some other, and they control the version. So we need to have a great cost team coordination, which that plays which makes a better coordination for basically to improve the security. And also plan AI integration during modernization. This comes on the top of all these things. So with all being said, basically we all so basically right now we try to improvise our own whole application to have a very new tech stack. Right now, the what's next basically. So we need to have a particular process that needs to be followed in a incremental way. Like so, basically all the applications that we have in general after all the upgrades is done, every single day we have one or the other library that gets promoted, that needs to be taken care, or else every enterprise application has this black duck or scan or some other scanning mechanism that produces this library has this vulnerability. So how it needs to be taken, what needs to be taken. So every day developer can't I mean it's a more of a manual effort rather than actual effort, because as a developer, every developer want to focus on that development task or developing any new features to the user rather than just maintaining the softwares, maintaining the libraries, just upgrading every day, raising and just I mean, changing the version of the library, changing some of the few API calls that need renamed or some of them deprecated, just changing them. It takes one more day to just see what are the changes that they have. So it's just a lot of effort. I mean, not a lot of effort, but it's just time consuming for every developer to just daily scan these libraries, because every application has a lot of libraries that needs to be taken care. Like for any enterprise applications, I can say like anywhere near to 200 to 400 libraries. There are direct dependencies that we take care, but there are internally there are a lot of transitive dependencies that also need to be taken care whenever there have any CVs reported on the black duck or the scan, whatever it is used on the enterprise application to scan the vulnerabilities. So how to maintain it daily is the question. So I try to build up an AI assistant which can detect the vulnerability daily. If it is so, basically what it does is tries to scan all the dependencies, all the libraries that the application is using. If that application try to have any, it tries to get the latest version of that upgrade and the version that we are using in our application, and try to see if that is a small upgrade. It tries to go to the release notes of that particular library upgrade and sees, checks like if that library has any API changes. If that is minor API changes, the whole application, these API changes are done with the AI itself, and code is directly made to. I mean, after these changes are made, the AI itself will make a PR so that the developer just can review and just merge to the code, and the automation it can run automatically at the backend. So I can just share my screen with the VS Code and show you how exactly I built this. 1 second. So this is a AI application that I built for this AI detection, vulnerability detection that any enterprise application can now can integrate basically.
Sravan, the text is a bit too small to read. If you can enlarge it a bit. The size of the text, not the size of the panel of the text. The text is a bit small. You can use the scroll of your mouse and control and scroll of the
Yeah,
mouse.
I'm just using it, but
No, click on control and click
I'm just.
click on control, not
Mm-hmm,
on the text.
mm-hmm,
Control.
mm-hmm.
Use your mouse. Scroll up. It will
Yeah,
make
that's what I'm
the
doing, but it's not happening. Uh,
okay.
if I, yeah, 1 second, I can. So if you see here, I can just scroll here, but that's not happening with the VS Code. I'm not sure why. I'm just doing the same here. Uh, maybe 1 second. I can.
You can change it in the settings as well, but let's
Yeah,
continue.
just a second. Maybe I can just check on that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe I can just copy and paste it in the notepad and I can just go over the code here. Not sure why it's not happening there. Here it's visible, right?
You can use the notepad, it worked good though.
Yeah, but I can use the notepad, but the thing is uh, going back to and coming to the function, it's not that easy from the notepad.
So there was an alternative. I will give a tip to everyone that are watching. If you are not familiar with Teams, there is an option to enlarge the part of the screen that you see. The disadvantage is that you will see only part of the screen that is shared. You can use the option to enlarge what you see in your side if you need to read it's better. Oh, okay, okay, that's better. Can you
Yeah.
continue? That?
Yep. So So I try to use the OpenAI key for me. So I try to set I mean, this is the API key that I have got. I try to create so anyone can get this API key. Just try to, we can create an account in the OpenAI or Claude or else any Gemini uh, account. We can just try to create an account and we can get the API key that we need, that is just set through the environment variables. So we can just have environmental variables wherein we can just set this. So I can just go with this environmental variables. So these are the environment that I have. So I just set my API key here. See with this name. So that key I try to get this key for any API calls to the AI. So I also have the POM file. So what this POM file is basically, if you have experience with Java, basically it has all the dependencies that the whole application tries to use. So I try to have a sample project wherein I have only 4 libraries mentioned, but in general generally it has more than few hundreds of libraries that need actively maintained. I have these 4 libraries. One is a Spring framework that is needed for building the Spring application for the whole REST API, security, as whatnot. So, and also this is Jackson data bind, which we use for what I mentioned here, where we need to serialize from object to object type to the JSON format, JSON to object type. So these things are very much needed for the AI integration. So I try to use this library, and also this lang3, commons lang3 for null checks, or for clients and more clients have validation. We try to use this, and a JUnit for the testing purpose. To have a unit test written, we try to use JUnits for the modularized uh, code for testing. So this is the Python class. So I try to scan this POM file. If that isn't have found, I'll just throw the error. So what exactly this parse POM dependencies do? It tries to uh, pass through all the XML what I have here and tries to remove the comments, and it can get into a tree kind of format where we can have dependencies, internal dependencies, trans-to dependencies, which we talk about, right? So basically, these kind of dependencies, when we have, it's very much important to parse and get exactly this child or what dependency has what parent. So these kind of things we need to analyze, which it is easily we can do with this tree parsing. Then we try to uh, get the group ID, artifact ID version. So in general, if you see this POM file, for every dependency, it has a group ID, artifact ID version. If you see whatever so I just went over through the simple dependency structure, simple the A format. Basically, we can further enhance it. I just thought of keeping it simple for considering the time we have. Uh, Coming here, so for every dependency, I try to get the group ID, artifact ID, version number. So this uniquely identifies what exact dependency that we are looking into, right? So all the dependencies are scanned from the tree. We get the group ID, artifact ID, version, and all these things are set into an this object map. And we are just returning this through the parse POM dependencies here. So after getting all the dependencies, I try to create a table just for the UI perspective, like what is the group ID, what is the artifact ID, what is the current version, what is the latest version. And so I'll just after getting all the dependencies, we try to get the latest of those dependencies. How we are getting the latest, we'll see. So based on the group ID, artifact ID, which we got, we tried to go over the Maven repo. So some applications are built on the Maven. Some are there is some local artifact which we try to use to get the dependencies, right. So what are the API links that we have? We try to send the request to all these APIs to get the latest version of the dependency that we are looking. If the latest dependency is from the Maven, it tries to get the latest from the Maven. If not, it tries to get from some of the other artifact. It can be some other SAP artifact, for example. So some other artifact which a company is set up to use. Basically, we can try to get API call done to that particular report to get the latest version. So I try to have a request sent to this Maven repo, sending this with the params with parameters of group ID, artifact ID, timeout in the sense how long we need to wait for the response. So I just give it as a 20 seconds. So it tries to get the response. The response will have the a lot of document related response we get. Basically, it will have uh, latest version, the other due layers, transfer dependency, all the related information. But we just return the only the latest version which we need. We don't need other related information, right? So we just try to return this just getting all the latest version of the libraries that we are passing. We get the latest version, and also if we get any readout. Read timeout, we try to retry for 3 times until we get a response. And also if we get any request failure, how long it need to wait, or else just throwing the error exception handling I try to maintain here. Uh, After getting the latest version, we see after getting the latest version, I tried to have sleep for 2 seconds. The reason that I kept this was, so whenever I'm trying to after getting all these dependencies to get the latest version, whenever I'm trying to make concurrent API calls, basically it is giving some kind of error because their APIs are set in such a way that we can't invoke the API calls on the same request multiple times in a given second. So it's just throwing an exception. So I just try to wait for a couple of seconds to hit that API again. the Maven repo API. So after waiting for a couple of seconds to get the next version, so basically it tries to loop over all the dependencies to get the latest version. After getting the latest version, it tries to get the A recommendation, like whether the latest upgrade need to be addressed in this PR, or else it needs to be addressed by the developer, how confident the AI is. So how it is done. So if you come here, I'll get the group ID, artifact ID, the current version and the latest version that we get from the Maven repo. I try to send it over here. So I have given a prompt in such a way that it acts like a Java Enterprise Modernization assistant and evaluate the following dependency. So what are the params that I pass? The group ID, the artifact ID, the current version, and the latest version. If so, these are all being passed here, and it can provide the response, the recommendation, what it recommends, like uh, it recommends the upgrade or a hold, and the confidence from 0 to 100, how confident it is to upgrade the application, and reason explaining why it is safe or risky to upgrade. So I also mentioned the format of the response, JSON related. So example response is such a way that it says the recommendation, version number, and the confidence that it is having from 0 to 100, and the reason. It's a minor resource, so what breaking changes that it can introduce, that kind of reason. We can use that in reason for the testing nodes or the release nodes kind of. So after getting this response, so basically here is the API call. I use ChatGPT-4 role as the user. I send it to the response, and the temperature is set to 0. Temperature is for the hallucination. I just don't want any hallucination. The straightforward what it thinks without any deep thinking. I just try to get the response. After getting the response, I print it here. We can just look over the output how it is. Um, it loads the data and returns the data. The AI basically tries to get the comparison of the current and latest version. In the latest version, it checks the release notes and see if that has any breaking API changes. If it is some just minor change with just small security enhancements, it tries to change the version and just creates a PR. We can automatically review it. If it has some API changes, few API changes, we can ask the AI to modify it. If it has a very large API changes or any dependency collisions, we need it can just give the confidence below 60 or 70, and just based on that we can take over. Developer can take over. But with this, in most of the cases, what I encountered, most of the library updates are very minor in most of the cases. The major version update takes place in a year once or twice, but within a month for every library there is one or two minor versions that can be taken care with this AI tool. After getting the response, we try to show it in the table, what AI thought, what is the confidence that it has, and what is the reason being for that kind of confidence to be able to send a PR. So I can just run this. It's just trying to scan the POM and build the tree structure to get all the dependencies that it needs to get the latest and the current version. If you see here, it tries to send the request to uh, one after the other versions. So the first one is Spring Framework. It tries to get the latest version. What is the version that I mentioned, the 5.3.10? If you see here, the table, it has all the information mentioned. The Spring Framework with the artifact ID, the current version is 5.3. The latest version, it tries to get from the Maven repo 7.30.mc when we see this M6 or M related versions, it is related to maintenance version, not the stable version. So it can straight away recommend. So basically, if you see the score, it is just 70. The latest 7.0 is a major version, which may contain significant new features and improvements. So however, it is a milestone indicating M6, which means it is not a final stable version and may still have some bugs or issues. Therefore, which is generally safe to upgrade. Thorough testing is recommended, ensures compatibility. So based on this recommendation, we can try to see like if it is 80 or 90s based on the approach that we take and based on the daily process that we are following. I generally see like more than 85 or 90 is a good confidence rate to directly ask the AI itself to make the uh, PR request itself. Other than that, if the score is below 90 or 85, I can say like as a developer we need to make thorough check on that particular regard. So this is another API. So it says 80, the latest contains bug fixes, so performance and also possibly new features compared to the current version. So as this has new features, it will ask the developer to see what new features it has and it can be introduced or not. And it has several big bug fixes also to have need to be checked. And it has 90 if you see here. The latest version of JUnit is a minor release from the, so it is a minor release, and minor typically includes bug fixes, improvements, and new features without introducing breaking changes. As it is not introducing any breaking changes, the AI will directly create an PR and send it to the developer for the review, so that developer can directly merge it. So with this tool, so this tool can be built on top of the pipeline, the CI/CD pipeline that we already having. So like whenever we try to push the code to master, uh, whenever code is merged to master, obviously a Jenkins builds starts right automatically. So during that Jenkins builds, if we introduce this tool in that particular pipeline, it tries to see any latest upgrades to that version after scanning all the POM versions. It tries to see if it has any latest version other than the versions that it already upgraded to. Then it tries to generate another PR if it sees any latest version with the confidence or 85 or 90, which we can mention. With this approach, we can minimize the developer time to be taken on spending this dependency check, vulnerability checks, and say all these day-to-day tasks, which are a lot time taking, which doesn't involve much uh, learning for the developer rather than just looking after the documentation, daily raising this PR. So this is the approach I try to follow. And this approach, any application, any enterprise application, not only enterprise application, but any application, if any application has any kind of security libraries or any of the other libraries that we try to use, upgrading linearly, having to upgrade from one version to another version, minor version, just resolves the issues quite often, right? So I recommend using this kind of AI tool that is integrated to the pipeline itself. And also, this is the basic thing that I just put on here, but this can be integrated more to like the last. So basically, the AI can just scan the old Jira tickets or the release notes. See, like for suppose Jackson Databind, I suppose that has a latest version released, some other version it is released. So what testing that we have done earlier and why it is being used from the release notes, that particular library, it can create automatically the release notes to the bottom of the pipeline itself. So what testing needs to be written on the Jira itself, so that testing notes can help the QA to directly test those kind of features directly. So all this can be integrated on top of it. So I can just say like this is a wholesome tool that any application can use to upgrade linearly with the AI support. So AI can be used anywhere, but this is a quite amazing idea to be able to use. So apart from this, uh, There are a lot of other recommendations that I can add on to this. So basically, apart from this Jira and all these things, we can have the MEN scan or the black duck scan reports also. AI can fetch and see the MEN scan or the black duck also gives some recommendations. So whether that recommendation is favorable to upgrade. So these can also be checked through the AI rather than just directly checking the latest version. Uh, so it's not a small thing, so it's not a small step, but it can be added to the very large product to scanning large things to learn a lot. So with that being said, this is how I try to maintain the whole build-up of the application stack, how to maintain the libraries, how to maintain linearly without directly jumping onto upgrading at a time all the libraries at a glance. So just linear upgrade, minor version, all that is taken care of the AI, and just the developer needs to just review the PR, the pull request. With that being said, closing call. We can't run the tomorrow's AI and yesterday code is the thing that I want to mention. So basically, we need every latest library possible, every tech stack to be latest to be able to run the tomorrow's AI onto our application. Start with the dependencies audit this month is what I recommend. Like what dependencies is the hiccup for the next year or so. So what needs to be started right now, because we can't straight away upgrade and throw it to the user to test it, right? So basically we need to have a thorough testing if it is a very large library that we have upgraded with a lot of data. We need to test with a lot of regression that needs to be involved. So finally, let's prepare enterprise applications for the AI aware. With that being said, I just want to close the presentation. If you have any questions, I can just answer them.
I will enable the microphone and the camera if anyone want to speak. If you have a question, you can use the raise hand, just ask, or using the Q&A. Let's give it another minute.
Yeah, we have time.
Yeah, that's okay. I think that
I have one question about the SAP. I have one organization, a big one, that moved from on-prem SAP to SAP Rise. And they consider to stay with Kerberos authentication and not move to SAML, to Enter ID authentication. And how it will be influenced about if they want to adapt AI to the SAP Rise.
So in general, every application, every enterprise application, we try to modernize it basically. In general, if you just talk about the AI OpenSAML specific, so it's just being, I said, like from Java 8, we have issues, but right now I see like most of the OpenSAML libraries that we can directly upgrade from if we are in Java 11 or Java 17. I believe most of the applications are in Java 11 or 17 right now. But if we are in Java 8, we don't have any choice. Just try to go to Java 11 or 17 to upgrade this thing. We don't have any other choice. Hope this answers your question.
Yes, so we need first to upgrade the Java before the migration to the new SAP Rise.
Yes, because the latest OpenSAML doesn't support the old Java thing. So in order to upgrade Java, we have a lot of things to be taken care of, the Tomcat, the Spring, everything. So that's the reason I just mentioned. We need to audit and see what exactly needs to be upgraded to that OpenSAML latest library. So.
Okay, understand.
Cool.
Do we have another question? I don't see it this time. Okay, that's great. I want to thank our speaker, Sravan Reddy, for a great review. And thank you all for joining us today. I remind you that you can register to our next week's meeting. I already added a link in the chat. And you can follow us on social media as well. Once the recording will be published, then I will post something on Facebook and LinkedIn. So again, thank you everyone, and thank you, Sravan, for joining us today and for the session.
Thank you for the opportunity as well. Thank you for attending.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.